Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sada shivaha. Trishu dhamasu yad bhogyam bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tebhyo vilakshana sakshi chinmatroham sada shivaha. Whatever in the three realms, in the three states, Trishu Dhamasu, in the three realms. Trishu means the state, the three. Dhamasu means the realms or the states. Is the object of enjoyment. Bhogyam means object of enjoyment. Bhokta means the enjoyer. Bhogaha is the actual enjoyment. So three things: the object of enjoyment, which is bhogyam, the enjoyer, which is bhokta, bhogaha is enjoyment. So whatever in the three states is the object of enjoyment, enjoyer, and enjoyment, distinct from them I am. I am distinct from these three in the three states. What am I? Sakshi. I am a witness. Chinmatraha, the pure consciousness. Sadashivaha, ever auspicious. So he's just segregating what that Brahman is from the experiences of the waking dream deep sleep. Vilakshana. Vilakshana means I'm distinct from these three. Now, even though he says in all the three, primarily it will happen in the waking and dream. So what is happening in the waking and dream? What are the three things? In any experience, there are three factors. Arunama, in any experience, there are three factors. What are the three factors?
The person who is the experiencer.
Experiencer.
Then the object of experience.
Which is experienced.
Experienced, yeah.
And then?
And the experience itself.
And the actual experiencing itself, which is the relationship between the subject and object. So the three things are the subject, object, and the experiencing or the relationship. What does it do? All these three brings about an experience, isn't it?
Yes, yes, Guruji.
Now, is this an experience? Yes or no?
Meaning right now would be
yes, right now this is an experience. So who is the subject?
I am the subject.
Why do you say you are the subject?
I'm the experiencer.
You are experiencing it. You are the experience subject. Who is the object?
Guruji who's conducting the class.
Only me.
And everybody else.
Everybody other than me are objects of experience. And your interaction, which is Aruna's interaction with everybody else in the classroom, is the interaction you are having with everybody is the experience that you carry. So this experiencer, experienced, experiencing, where all does it apply?
In the waking and the dream sleep.
It happens in the waking and the
dream states.
Okay, then Where else? Does it happen in deep sleep?
No, it doesn't happen. And deep sleep is a state of ignorance of bliss.
Is a state of, I would say, nothingness,
Nothingness.
the bliss. So there is no experiencer or experience. There's no object of experience. There's nobody experiencing. There's no experiencer. There's nothingness. So relatively, you can say we are in a relative bliss, right?
Yes, Guruji.
Now what he's saying, I am distinct from that. I, the Brahman, am not, they say experiencing Brahman is not an experience. So you can never experience Brahman. This is one of the authoritative verses where we say, we fall back on. We say, he says, I am not an experience. Everything in the world is an experience. Okay, ma? Wonderful. Everything in the world is an experience. Yogesh ji, just a quick recap to ensure that you're understanding. In every experience, what do you require?
I had a lot of pain with my cramps and everything.
Oh,
So
you're
I
not
was-
keeping well? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
so I took some medicine, but I did tell that I'll be joining, but I'll try to keep myself sitting all through this thing, you know.
Oh, so sweet. Appreciate that. Take care. Take care, sir. Relax. No issues. Appreciate that.
Right.
End of the day, it's mind over matter, sir. That's what we are saying. You're not this. I am not the body. Just keep telling yourself in the extreme cramps, I am not the body. In extreme pain, I am not this. Believe me, the amount of strength you get by detaching yourself from the body. Obviously, the body will go through the pain, You know, the great Ramana, Ramana Maharshi, I'm talking about, Swami Ramana Maharshi, when there was a stage of his life, there was some lump of growth and it had to be operated. And the doctors had to do a procedure. And they said, we'll have to put through anesthesia. He said, not required. You just carry on. But we are worried you may not cooperate. He said, don't worry. You just carry on. And he convinced them that he doesn't need anesthesia. And apparently, the procedure went on so smoothly. And thereafter, his students or those who are with him were trying to have a dialogue with him and asked, did you not feel the pain? To which he said, it felt. It felt. What do you mean it felt? I am, when you say I am not the body, body is my possession. Body felt the suffering, but I don't have to feel the pain. So the conditioning is because of our constant association with something, you're bound by it. When you are attached to your home, you're away from home, you will have homesick. You will feel homesick. Why? Because you're attached to your home. Correct? Just not the head. Otherwise, wherever you go, you will make it your home. Why? I miss my country. I miss the food. I miss the people. I miss the language. Attachment other. Okay. So, coming back to the point, any experience has three things: subject-object relationship, the experiencer, experienced, and the experiencing. But they say self-realization is not an experience. It is not an experience because the subject and the object merge to become one. In fact, all three merge to become one. The subject is the experiencer, which is me. The object is the experienced something other than me. But in the state of self-realization of Brahman, there are no duality. Therefore, they say the state of Brahman is Shivaji. Phone பாக்குறீங்களா? Switch off பண்ணுங்க சார். நேத்தி சொல்லுங்க. It can be income tax contacting you, it can be anybody contacting you, your daughter contacting you, a company contacting you, anybody contacting you. Switch off பண்ணுங்க சார். Switch off பண்ணுங்க first. No, அது பக்கத்துல போட்டுங்க நீங்க. Switch off பண்ணுங்க அது. அது disrespect to Kaivalyopanishad. Who am I to be respected on? உபனிஷத்துக்காக ரெஸ்பெக்ட் கொடுங்க சார். நீங்க மெடிடேஷன் பண்ண அப்புறம் இன் பிட்வீன் மெடிடேஷன் நீங்க மெசேஜ் பாக்குறீங்களா என்ன? அப்புறம் how can you see in a class like this? அபச்சாரம். What did I say? The question, what is that term for Brahman?
Atman?
The context the கேக்குறேன். In the context, we said Brahman, you can't, there is no subject and object, all merge into one.
It's an
So what is the
absolute
faith?
state.
What is the term for Brahman where all become one? What is that Sanskrit word which describes Brahman, which they say it is one? The word is Advayam. The Brahman is said non-dual. Non-dual means non-two.
No two. There is only one.
Not two.
Ekam.
Sir, one is, you can say Ekam, but even saying Ekam is being specific. You're pinpointing. Therefore, since you can't be specific and pinpointing it, they say it's not two. So since, sir, for an experience, you need two factors. What are the two factors?
The experiencer and the object.
Experienced, correct. But for Brahman, you
There's
don't, it
only
is
one.
non-dual. What is one? Brahman alone. So who is experiencing Brahman? Who is experiencer?
Brahman.
What is being experienced?
Brahman.
Therefore, it is not an experience.
Ekam
Therefore-
evatyam Brahma.
Huh? Sorry?
Ekam evadatyam Brahma Mahavakyam. There's only one.
Brahman
Ultimately.
is only one, correct. So therefore, they say it is not an experiencer, it is a becoming. You become Brahman. You don't experience Brahman. So the language falters, the language changes. So I'm just trying to mention it so we take a note of the subtle change, because the mantra spells it out. In that, there is no three experiencer, there is no object of enjoyment, there is no enjoyer,
No
and
bhok-
the enjoyment.
No bhokta.
No bhokta, no bhogyam, no,
I am that pure absolute consciousness.
nor bhogaha.
Bhoga.
There is no bhogaha,
Bhoga,
there
no
is no
bhokta.
bhokta. Okay, sir. Thank you, Shivaji. Bhokta bhogascha yad bhavet tad bhavet. Distinct from them, I am. What is the distinctness of I am? First he says Sakshi. Sakshi is to be disinterested witness. I am disinterested in all that you are experiencing. I'm a witness to it. I stand disinterested. So Kashish, what is it that is disinterested to everything that you're doing? Or which you're choosing not to do?
Guruji, would it be the true self, the pure consciousness?
The Atman, that your true self is a pure Sakshi. To what? To what is it a witness to?
To all experiences, worldly experiences,
Whose experiences?
the experiences of the body, which we are not.
Correct. To the experiences which you are conditioned to, the Atman is a disinterested witness. Now, it is a disinterested witness while it illumines it. That's the interesting part. In the previous mantra, he says, it is that which illumines the waking dream and deep sleep. It gives life to the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. While giving life, it is a Sakshi, it is disinterested. Pure disinterest is tamas. If you are interested and attached to it, is rajas. You are disinterested interest is sattva. Spoke the truth. Sattva is you are interested in it because you have to do your dharma. So what is the dharma of the Atman? It has to enliven. So it will enliven everything. But while it enlivens, it remains disinterested. I have no interest in what you do. I am doing my part. You fellows, you like a father, as a parent, you educate the child. You give your best. Thereafter, you go and mar yourself. You make and go and make yourself. You succeed or you don't succeed. What you go through, it's your making. I've done my part. I am not interested in the fruits. But tell me one parent who is totally disinterested in the child. Today we are carrying our children like our backpack. And the backpack is becoming heavier and heavier. And the end result is I'm slouching and slouching until my back breaks, carrying the mental burden on my head. So sattva is to keep doing what you have to do, yet remain a disinterested interest. You are a pure witness, a sakshi to everything. Like no court proceedings will happen without the judge, but yet the judge comes and he is expected to remain a pure disinterested witness to the entire proceedings. No, the judge who didn't come and yet the proceedings happen, impossible. There's no proceedings without the judge. And yet the judge he did not get carried away with anything. So you and I are supposed to go into your chores, doing whatever you have to do with an attitude of being a sakshi. So when you approach it that way, it becomes a sadhana, it becomes the culmination. It is the journey, it becomes the destination. So it becomes the abhyasa, it becomes anubhava. It is the journey, it is a destination, it is the path, it is the goal. It is a sadhana. You try to practice sakshi. What you become is ultimate sakshi. So the examples you can give is, take the example of a judge. Another example of petrol in the we often give the example how petrol illumines all vehicles, that it remains a sakshi to everything that happens. Petrol is not responsible whether the car goes down the road and hits an embankment. The car is not petrol is not responsible, or whether you reach home safely. It's not the petrol that is responsible. So petrol has got nothing to do with the mode of operation. It is responsible but not accountable. We keep using these terms. Petrol is responsible for your action, not accountable for your action. In the Shastra, they give an example of like a king, like a Raja Vatsada. In Atma Bodha, he says you become like a king. King is someone, in his presence, everything is active, everything is bristling. Like when royalty is visiting a place, my God, everything is sparkling, everything is spick and span, everything is clean, everything is decorated. There are platoons, there are red carpet, roads are asphalted, traffic is halted, everything comes to a grinding halt if royalty is visiting that place, isn't it? But you go and ask the royalty, did you ask them to do that for you? He will say, I didn't even know that they do it. They did all that. I didn't ask them to. I remember when, I'm sure you all remember, who was it that visited? Some royalty from UK. They were visiting Hyderabad. Who was that, Gayatri?
First time it was Clinton who was coming to Hyderabad. That time the city was fully decorated and the roads laid and everything nice.
So if any VVIP is coming, we will get roads, we will get everything done. But you go and ask Clinton, did you want that road to be laid from the airport to the route where you're going to here, there? Did you want? He said, is that so? Oh, I didn't know that. He will only say, I'm not interested in it. I didn't ask for it. What I was interested in was to meet the Prime Minister, or want to meet that person, that's all. I was not interested, but the moment he is there, everything is done. So in his presence, everything functions. But has he got any interest in it? No interest. So one should evolve to a level where in the thick and thin of things, you are like a thermostat. You always can get disconnected. You're in it and you're out of it. Sakshi. So it's the sadhana and the goal. Then it says, Chinmatroham. It is the pure consciousness. What we must understand, it is not the conditioned consciousness that we have studied in the previous mantra. And he says, Sada Shiva. It is pure, ever auspicious. It is serene, it is gracious. You know, sometimes when you look at a mountain, at a peak of a mountain, you see the peak of a mountain is so serene. If at all there is any disturbance, is only at the midway level, the lower level, but the peak of the mountain is always serene and so beautiful, auspicious, tranquil, perfectly tranquil. Not conditioned by the three. Bhokta, Bhogyam, Bhoga. Yes, Harish, you want to clarify something?
Yes, Guruji. Can you hear me, Guruji?
Yes, yes.
Guruji, you made a very profound point just 5 minutes ago. And I want to clarify something. You said pure.
But can I clarify something to that? I've been saying very profound statements for the past 1.5 hours.
Yes, you have.
Not just last 5 minutes. So
No, you have.
just small clarification to that. Then you can carry on.
My apology, my wrong wording. Sorry for that.
No, that apology accepted, Harish.
You
Kashish must be
mentioned
thinking, in spite of all this, we come to his class, Kashish is going to go back to uncle after the class. We should collectively stop attending Guruji's class.
not at all, not at all, not at all.
No. Yes, Harish, please, yeah.
Guruji, you mentioned earlier, pure disinterest is tamas, attachment is rajas, and disinterested interest in sattva. Now, my question, Guruji, is how do we distinguish within ourselves what is deemed as pure disinterest and disinterested interest? How do we manage this two platforms? Because sometimes I feel that might be a bit difficult for us to understand the difference on when to be purely disinterested and to be disinterested interest. How do we gauge what's our benchmark for this, Guruji? This is my question.
See, it should not be difficult, but we have mentioned this many a time. In fact, what you are saying is, what's the difference between tamas and sattva? Because we say it's a tamasic quality vis-a-vis a sattvic quality. The only difference between tamas and sattva, a tamasic person remains in inaction. He is inactive. He has abandoned his obligatory duties. He relinquishes action, in short. But a sattvic person, he performs his obligatory duty. Karyam karma. It could be karyam karma. Means regular duties, it could be occasional duties, it could be special duties, whatever it could be. But he performs his duty. But while he performs, he has no interest in the happening. Like your child wants to go for shopping. As a parent, you have to take your child for shopping. Well, your child is shopping, let's say in the toy shop. You're also quite new because you have not seen all these toys in your childhood days, and there's so many new toys that come. You go into the toy store, there's so many electronic toys, you explore, you find out what is best, how it works, whether it is good or bad, you do that. Why are you doing that? Because your child wants to buy a toy, you find an obligation as a parent to provide for it. The child is going through the likes and dislikes. The child likes it, that doesn't like certain things. The child is excited, dejected, doesn't know whether the parent will buy, the father will buy what the child likes. Always anxiety. Is there all that anxiety in the parent? Is there any attachment in the parent? Is there any raga dvesha, likes and dislikes in the parent? The child is just doing what the parent has to do. The parent is doing what he has to do. He remains disinterested. After a time will come, you say, man, you decide. There's 3 options, there are 4 options. You decide what you want to buy. I'll provide for it, no problem. You are disinterested. You're doing what you have to do, yet you're not interested in anything. Why? You've grown out of it. You're mature to such a level where it doesn't matter to you, it doesn't affect you, it doesn't pinch you, it doesn't hurt you, but yet you have done your dharma. Today there is an obligation to teach. I teach. There are X people sitting here. Tomorrow I go elsewhere, there are certain people sitting there. Whether you people are interested in this knowledge, whether you people are grateful to this cause, whether you serve this knowledge or you don't serve this knowledge, whether you're excited by it or dejected by it, I should remain disinterested in the activities, isn't it? You may take extreme measure to support it. You may be cold to this effort, to this cause, yet you may be beneficiary of this knowledge, but you may be cold to the efforts and the cause. How should I react? Should I get excited and dejected and all the emotions should come and create a turmoil within me, Harish? Tell me, how should I carry on with my activities while I'm interacting with you? How should I conduct myself?
Just on matter of neutralization, just perform as you would regardless.
Just like the parent who took the child to the toy store, not to be affected by all the emotions that the child went through. Exactly the same way I'll have to go through with the various emotions that come. They could be support, there could be no support, they could be favorable, they're unfavorable, they are acceptance, or rejectance. Pushpama yesterday, in fact, we had a communication. Ramji also was involved. We are putting with such sincerity and effort. We're being put into to get something going, and we got very unfavorable. So it means they were not interested. Whatever the result was unfavorable for the effort we put in. And my words to Pushpama. What was my words, Pushpama? What did I say?
Not at all bothered. Leave it to you. It's okay. Like, not taken seriously.
But did I not say it is the effort that matters? As long as we keep putting the effort, doesn't matter they accept or not. So what we are saying, Harish, is if you go on doing, I'm talking about the work, and there's no difference between the work which I'm doing to the work you're doing. Every field of action has its own good and bad, favorable, unfavorable. There is acceptance, resistance. There is the wave of the crests and the troughs. This goes through. So I should remain a disinterested interest. Men may come, men may go. I go on forever. Today you are there following me. So many people have come into my life and gone. In the course of, you know, Harish, you have been with me for more than a decade or two, close to a couple of decades, you know me. So many students I've had. If I have to start putting a list of students who have come, I can't even put a count to it. Can't even recall. People come and say, I attended your class. In fact, when Shantima came to ashram here in Hyderabad, my first question to her, one of the questions asking me, where is it you first attended my class? That was my question to her. She had to tell me where she attended, so it struck a chord in me. And then she, after so long, she said, I've not seen you for 6 years, and I want to see you, and I want to spend some time here. So she took that effort. Not that I'm consciously trying to forget or disrespectful, but so many people have come and gone. Am I to be tossed by all that happens? Try to remain disinterested. So many things people will say many things. Should you be affected by all that comes your way? As Shakespeare says, give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. I reserve my views, I reserve my judgment, but I will lend my ear, but few thy voice. Why should I get excited? Why should I get excited? So the real crux to differentiate, the question is, how do you differentiate between tamas and sattva? Tamasic fellow, he abandons action. Sattvic person embraces action in the spirit of performing his duty with a spirit of service and sacrifice. These are the quintessential elements, Harish. You pick up duty with a spirit of service and sacrifice. Now I'm doing with the spirit of serving you all. Whatever that's thrown at me, I got to be disinterested in that. That is sattva. Then how do you keep motivated? Keep doing, it's your motivation is your dharma, is to perform your duty, not the fruit. So you keep driving yourself to perform your duty constantly. Whatever needs to be done, I shall do it. But I remain unaffected. Praise or censure, profit or loss, everything comes and goes. But you know, a beautiful saying. The saying is, For him in vain the envious seasons roll, who bears eternal summer in his soul. I'll write it for you also. You get a hold of it. It's a beautiful quote which says, for him in vain the envious seasons roll, who bears eternal summer in his soul. So the seasons are rolling by. It is summer, it is winter, it is spring, it is autumn. So different weathers, different things that keep coming and going. Sometimes it's pouring, sometimes it shines, sometimes it's rain, whatever it be. But he bears eternal summer, means nothing affects him. Even in the heaviest of monsoon, he has eternal summer in his soul. Means he is so blissfully reveling in the self. This is sattva. And that can only happen if you are a sakshi to it. If you identify, you will get affected. I hope you follow, Harish, the difference between tamas and sattva. Okay, right. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.